Hi, my name is Kate. I'm also known as Two Little Kits. Welcome to my FlossTube. I've got so many things to share that I've been working on, as you may have expected for this FlossTube. So let's get started. I'm going to start with a work in progress. I actually have, I've got many works in progress. I've talked previously about the fact that I have heaps and heaps of works in progress going on all the time, but I generally only share works in progress that I've touched on in the last fortnight. One thing that I do have that I didn't touch on this week, this fortnight, but I did the previous one and I didn't share because I totally forgot, was this piece here. So I've done, since the last time I shared it, I'm pretty sure since the last time I shared it, but the bit that I know that I've done is the hair on the three people here. This one's not done. She just has like an undercut sort of shaved bit. So I've still got to do hair on top of that, but this is almost done, and I think I've decided that I'm going to gift it once I start back at martial arts, because this is the team that work at the studio that I go to. So it's not going to be exactly at Christmas time, fingers crossed. I will go into like foot update soon, but I'm hoping that I will be able to gift this as an early present, and that'll be cool. So yeah, that's coming along awesomely, and this one's going to be put in a frame to gift it, just because I don't think an embroidery hoop will look very great at the studio, basically. So there's that. So before I share this finished piece, I just want to quickly explain that last FlossTube, I didn't have this like in the pipeline at all. This was a rush order that I received the Wednesday after my last FlossTube. So it's been less than 2 weeks. I got it done within a week. I've been waiting for some stuff to arrive, which has arrived, before I can actually mail it out. But this is a piece that I completed as a rush order and in less than a week, and I'm just like astounded that I was able to get it done. Here it is. I'm gonna make sure that you can see it all. So this was a rush order because my customer needs it by the end of the month. So that is, something that I'm willing to discuss with people and talk about whether or not I can achieve that. And I do charge a rush fee, which is not cheap, basically. But if someone needs something and they want to get it done by me, or they don't have any other options, I guess, then that's a choice that they have, basically. I want to be clear that I don't do it because I'm exploiting or anything. My time is valuable. I know that. And this took away a lot of family time as well as time working on my ornaments. So to me, if it was urgent enough that she wanted to get it done, I'm, well within my rights to charge for my time and missed time, I guess. So anyway, so that piece is amazing. I'm super happy with how it's turned out. I love the animals. Normally I'm just like, animals, but especially the dog. I haven't done a dog front facing like that in ever, I want to say. I started doing cats front facing on my own family portrait for 2021. So that's been about a year that I've been doing cats front facing. But I hadn't done a dog front facing, and it doesn't have a tail, which I really and ahed about that. But like I did design it initially with a tail, and it kind of just looked like a weird leg that was sort of broken. But yeah, ultimately I went without the tail because the dog probably has it laying down on the ground behind it. So I'm super happy with how it's looking, and my customer is super happy, and I'm actually going to be getting this in the mail today. So sweet. So you may have noticed a little bit of a lighting change. Just pretend that you don't notice, basically. But we're going to continue with finished pieces. The other finished pieces I have are ornaments. And like I kind of like to inadvertently say, they're finished, but they're not finished. They are so close, and you'll see what I mean in a sec. But I have 10 ornaments that I've been working on. I'm like, I can feel how close I am. I'm excited. I've done all of the shipping labels, so they're all ready to go. I've still got to take photos and videos. I'm like paranoid I'm going to forget that, because that's like super important. But anyway, so finished pieces. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, this one's got a bit of fluff on it. That's 7. Yeah, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So as you can see, they're so close because all I gotta do is just cinch the backs in, so they're all like doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and then they'll look amazing. But yeah, right now they've got what my daughter likes to call their frilly dresses on, which I think is very cute. But I've done, I'll pick a red one. I've done all of the little label backs on them, which, I mean, I'm glad that I did it, but oh man, that added on so much time to do it, because I have ones that you have to sew on. You iron them on to sort of partially stick them in place, but you need to sew them on for them to stay put, because they wiggle once you start stitching a little bit. I remember when I ordered them, I wanted the sew-on ones because, I mean, they were a bit cheaper, but also I like the way it looks with the stitched effect. But ooh, it added on a lot of extra time. So I've done all of those on all of them. These are the 2 color backs that I did. And so close. I'm very excited. Tomorrow, my plan when the girls go to school is to, if I haven't already, to cinch the backs up and to take all of the photos and all of the videos. I've seriously even considered putting up our Christmas tree so that I can hang them for the videos and photos. I don't think my husband will be very impressed with that. Normally we put our Christmas tree up in December. It's a little bit soon for that. But oh my gosh, they're so close. They're so close. It's been very stressful to do them this year. And as I've talked about on my FlossTube, the only reason it's been stressful is because life has gotten in the way. I will definitely next year, if I do end up doing them again, I will be starting taking orders much sooner than I did this year. Even to go as far as like the end of the summer holidays, which feels so excessive. But I want to be able to ease into it and do it at my own pace. And this has definitely felt very rushed, and so not as enjoyable as last year. But seeing them all done, seeing them with their florals especially, is amazing. I'll show you my favorite ones with the florals. My favorite florals. I really like this one, and I really like this one. This one has, in the white flowers, it like sparkles. Hopefully you can see that. I did a strand of some sparkly thread in through it. And as you may have noticed, there are 2 that are not Christmas themed. So there is, well, I mean, it kind of is Christmas themed. It's not supposed to be, but this one was requested to not be Christmas themed. And I did the little red, I did red sparkly thread in these flowers, which hopefully you can see as well. But I don't know, I threw in the pink, hoping that it would make it less Christmassy. But there's that one, and this one's very much not Christmassy. So those 2 were requested to just be able to be put up all year, pretty much. So I'm excited. Let me know which one is your favorite out of all of the numbers when I was showing them. I'd be very interested to know which ones you like the best. But that's finished pieces. Oh my gosh. And I haven't worked on anything else. No, that's right. I did mention I have been working on something else when I was up to the hair and the florals on all of these. It's really hard for me to be able to stitch when I'm out and about, especially at my daughter's martial arts class. So I have had a cross stitch project in the works, but I cannot find it, which is really upsetting, actually. I don't know where it's gone. I haven't touched it since Wednesday, because that was the last time I couldn't work on the ornaments, but I had time to work on something. I don't know where it's gone. But it's like a little snowflake kind of thing. It's just something to distract from stress, pretty much. So hopefully I find it soon and I can share it in the next FlossTube. As you may have noticed, potentially, I did not release a new pattern the previous Monday that we just had. That is purely because I didn't have one ready or close to being ready, and I've had other things to do. I have a plan on releasing another free font. I was planning on my next font being a paid one, but I don't know, I kind of like the idea of continuing the alphabet where they are now with another free one, because L, M, and N are all free ones, and the next letter that I have to go on is O. I don't know, that's how my brain works. It's silly. But I do have an idea for 2 free fonts that I use that I don't have like set in stone, but they're stuff that I use pretty frequently in my own work. And I thought that it is similar to the other fonts that I have for free, where you could probably get this font somewhere else or a very similar iteration of it somewhere else. But I don't know, I want to help. So, plus it would give me an excuse to flesh it out, set it in stone, even just for myself, basically. I use the font Nancy that I have available for free all the time, and being able to go back to that PDF mostly for the uppercase and have something that I can just work off of without having to think is really helpful just for me. So that's my line of thinking. I haven't touched base with my test stitches about how they're going with the patterns that I've got in the works. So most likely, yeah, it'll just be something small for the next week, which is fine. Everybody likes free stuff, right? And everybody loves fonts. So I did buy some things that are stitchy related. I used the fabric that I used for the rush order. There's another half of that actually no, yes, there's another half of that I can use. I also got a smaller, a 32 count sort of greyish blue, which is what I'm using. I'm using half of that for the cross stitch that I can't find. So I got 2 new fabrics. That was purely because I needed a linen that worked well for the rush order. I also got some floss because I was running low on a couple of colors, which seems to be happening a lot lately. I actually need to go and get colors that I'm running low on, and despite the fact that I have this, which is quite thick and has many colors in it, I still end up needing more floss. Plus I've got all of this, but this, I want to say that this is mostly for decoration, but it's also not. I do use what's up there. I need to actually refill the black that's up there. That should be up there, I guess. Oh, that's the other thing I got. So I shared that I got this little friend from Giselle at Alice and the Bear, and I really, really like it. I think it's very cute. I love that it's tiny, so it sits on this mess of a monitor stand that I have. I should take a video or a photo of it and share it with you. Okay, so I'll put a picture up of what my mess of a desk looks like. So I have this one, but I really like the idea of being able to tell which needle was which. So either a embroidery needle or a tapestry needle. So I have this purple one already, and I ended up getting another one, which is a little blue one. So there's that one and this one now. So the purple one's for my sharps and my blue one is for the round tipped needles. So they're very cute. So I got that, and that's it, I think, which is kind of fine. I don't need to get lots of stuff. So I guess some things that have been happening in real life. We had Thanksgiving, as you probably are aware of the fact that it happened. If it's not already clear, I am Australian. I have probably mentioned, but maybe not, that my husband is also Australian, so we are a Australian family living in the US. But we like to try and follow the holidays that are in America, at least the holidays that are like this time of year, so Halloween and Thanksgiving and stuff that doesn't really happen in Australia, especially Thanksgiving. Side note, why do Americans, like not all Americans, but majority of Americans, act so surprised when I point out that we don't celebrate Thanksgiving in Australia? Because it makes me wonder if you guys actually know what you're celebrating for Thanksgiving. But anyway, we had a nice dinner and I spent most of Thursday cooking to end up with my kids not eating much food, of course. But we did the thing and we had the leftovers, and it was, for us, Thanksgiving is an excuse to spend a bit of extra money and actually buy a leg of lamb, because we don't like turkey at all, and lamb in this country is nowhere near as abundant as it is in Australia, and that's my favorite kind of meat personally. So yeah, we had some lamb and I was just like, ah. So that was great. I mentioned last FlossTube that on the Monday that I released the FlossTube, I was getting the pins taken out of my toe. I'm happy to say that my foot is now not metal free, but there is less metal in it because I still have one screw in the ball of my foot remaining. It was terrifying. I was so scared about getting it done because I just did not understand how it would not hurt. And it mostly didn't hurt, thankfully. I haven't shared a picture of what my foot looked like because gruesome, but there were 3 pins coming out of the end of my toe, basically. And 2 of them coming out just felt really weird. And the last one that came out felt like, the closest thing I can describe is when you accidentally cut yourself with a knife. So sort of that like slicing feeling, which I hope none of you knows what I mean, because I don't want to hope that you guys have cut yourself. But yeah, it did hurt, and I bled everywhere. Because I mean, those 3 pins created very crazy big open wounds, of course, which, you know, thankfully they healed up quickly, and I finally got to have a shower like a normal person without this big waterproof boot thing on my foot, and actually like scrub the bejesus out of my foot because it desperately needed a wash, like a proper wash. So that was really nice. I have my next appointment to make sure that everything has healed up a-okay on the 7th. I'm a little bit nervous because it is still very tender. I don't really know what to expect this far out from the second surgery and from getting pins removed. But I am nervous because, yeah, it is still really sore. But I'm trying not to think about it. It's hard to not think about it though because it's so cold. The point of all that was that if my foot has been so cold, and I've looked down at it because I've been silly and not worn socks when I totally could and should. My toe's been purple because it's so cold. So I don't know, I have weird sensations with the initial incision site where I'm feeling like I can feel it all throughout my toe if I touch like a certain point, lower on the toe. It's all very strange. So I'm hoping that it's just healing, growing pains. I don't know. But I have, an appointment in just over a week. So fingers crossed for me on that everything is looking amazing and not chronically fractured anymore. The other thing that is scary and exciting that I did was I donated blood. Oh my gosh. So that's a big deal for me because I am afraid of needles. To not blather on about it too much, I guess, like I've just done about my foot. I've always felt guilty about not giving blood ever since I found out that my blood type is O negative. If you don't know what that means, O negative is the universal blood type donator. So anyone that has O negative blood can give their blood to like 99.9% of the population. I've actually, like, out of curiosity, watched YouTube videos about blood types, and I can't say 100% of everybody because there are antigens that very few, like as in, a dozen people have where they need specific circumstances or whatever. Basically, O negative is the universal blood type. It also means that only if you've got O negative blood, you can only take O negative blood. So anyway, I've felt guilty about the fact that I could help billions of people with my blood type, potentially. Not all at the same time. I have been too scared. And then the other thing was back in the day, was told that I couldn't because I was taking iron supplements. I don't even know why I looked into it a few months ago, but I was like, oh, am I able to do that? And so I looked it up, and I don't know if it's an American thing or if it's a new change in rules or something, but it doesn't matter if you take iron supplements if you're going to give blood. It just means that you have to take care of yourself a bit more closely than someone who isn't. So I basically closed my eyes and pressed the schedule appointment button, and I donated blood, and it was scary. I filled the bag in 6.5 minutes, which was like, phew, because the guy that processed and stuck me was telling me that he's had the quickest person that he's had filled a bag in about 4 minutes, and the longest that he's had took half an hour. And I was like, oh, that's a long time. I don't know if I could do that. But yeah, I did it, and I felt very sore afterwards, but felt awesome that I did it. And it didn't scare me away enough to not ever do it again, because I booked another donation for the end of January. So, oh my gosh, I did it, and yeah, my arm still kind of hurts. But it's done, and yay. And my arm mostly hurts because I have tennis elbow pretty much from stitching, so that's great. It's also the same arm that I donated from, but you can't see the dot anymore, which is awesome. So I also wanted to ask anyone that watches what kind of patterns you'd like to see me work on in the new year. I mean, as I've said so many times, I've got all these ideas, I've got all these design ideas, like actually fleshed out in a way. Well, not really fleshed out, but they've been drawn, for example. I get hung up on myself, basically. I get hung up on poor performance because I've dealt with that a lot. I get hung up on wanting to push finished pieces instead of patterns. I don't know, I'm trying to figure out where I want to stand in 2023, and I'm curious as to what my viewers would like to see from me. You guys know my kind of style. You guys know that I have a pretty flexible variety of patterns. I know what has sold well and what hasn't, and trying to mix those together and hope for the best makes me nervous. So yeah, tell me the kinds of things that you'd like to see. Tell me the kinds of things that you'd like to work on, that you'd like to create. I still want to make the like how-to videos for stitches and just like cross stitching in general and embroidery in general. Yeah, I feel like once these are all out the door, I will be able to take a breath, for starters, but I'll also be able to get started on the next projects. And obviously the winter break is gonna throw a bit of a wrench in the works, which is to be expected, but I can at least prepare and set myself up for success. So my success is based on you guys, really. My success is reliant on knowing what will work and what you, the viewer, are interested in. So please, you can send me a direct message through my website or through something like Instagram or Facebook or whatever, or you can send me a public message on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or whatever, or here on YouTube, obviously. You can send me a comment below. Any way that is easiest for you. I would love to hear from you about what you're passionate about, what you want to create, and what you'd like to see. So I look forward to hearing from everybody that watches. And with saying that, I don't think there's anything else new really to share. The next FlossTube, I'm just gonna look at my calendar. Yeah, the next FlossTube is gonna be the last one before Christmas. So I don't know, there's probably not gonna be that much to share anymore because I've done all the ornaments now. But there's only gonna be 2 more FlossTubes for this year, and that kind of blows my mind a little bit. It's almost December. Yikes, where did this year go? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I look forward to hearing from you about, like I said, the things that you want to work on and create, and even things that you would like help on, things that I can do how-to blog posts or videos on. That'll be super as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and go and follow me over on Instagram. That's the place that I post the most often. But for now, I'll see you around the internet. Bye!